Hello, hello. Hello, friends. Hello. How are you this day? Good day to you. I can see. Hold on. I'm gonna go find my coffee. Good morning, John. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Linda. Good morning. Donna. Good morning to you. Irene. Good morning, everybody. Everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Great to see everybody here. I have my little lobster claw mug. I love this little mug. Yvette gave me this, so I'm having a little coffee. Just got done with a nice little religious education meeting. It's a great conversation. We are doing some high visioning here these days. So it is it's a lot actually. So, but we are working to see how we're gonna come uh, to lift up God's teaching in our church. So if you have any interest in that, talk to me. So good morning, everybody. Jane, how are you? We're both here with coffee too. Cheers. All right. Good morning, everybody. Yes. So one of the things we can do is this morning is we can have a common sip, which is this is a trip. Donna, okay, Mom, to hospital tests arrived. Too late. Try again on Friday. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but I hope everything is going all right with her. Well, please keep Donna's mom in your prayers these days. So yeah, so we can have if you have a libation in front of you, we can have a little common mug up, as we used to say in the lobstering biz. You'd have you stop for a mug up, and you can take the sip together. So all right, you ready? We'll do the countdown. If you got your beverage in front of you, ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, so good. Even even a little bit old lukewarm coffee, still good. Good morning, everybody. It is this day, the 14th day of July. It is Bastille Day. And so kind of in honor of Bastille Day, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about the ordering of things. So we're going to get a little philosophical today, but I hope that's all right because I think it's worth it. It's worth it thinking about how we order our lives and our days a little bit because I think it's helpful. So, if you don't want to talk philosophy, it's all right. Just show up for the company. It's great. So welcome on this day, the 14th day of July, this Thursday at 11:11. So glad you're here. One of the great places to look for kind of the ordering of things or the understanding of kind of like some of the more philosophical ideas is the Proverbs. And I honestly think we don't spend enough time in the Proverbs. They're really rich. They kind of get cast aside because they say that the Proverbs are what a young person should read, like the young person, like a person who is maybe a teenager, a young teen. They should really spend time in the Proverbs, kind of learning these things of wisdom, these basic kind of tropes of wisdom, so that they can then kind of fill them with action in later in their days. But you know what? We're all just big kind of teenagers at this point, aren't we? Like it seems like a little bit. So I think it's worth spending some time in the Proverbs. But this is Proverbs 4:5, where it says this: Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, and neither decline from the words of my mouth. And so that this neither decline from the words of my mouth, saying, don't don't shy away from what is true, what the good, the true, and the beautiful, as Plato would say. Don't shy away from it, but don't decline from the the wisdom that comes to you, but get it, seek it, get hungry for it, figure out the order of things in your own life. And this ordering of things it's deep in us, both how we're made as people, because of to get wisdom. Now, what does this mean, to get wisdom? Now, because it's my wisdom in here is the word for it is Sophia. We know some Sophias, don't we? For all of you who have named your daughters Sophia, God bless you, because it is just a gorgeous name, but it also is a beautiful, this word, get wisdom, get Sophia, is, we talk about, it is talked about this way because and in fact, all the virtues are talked about this way. All the virtues are classically depicted as beautiful ladies, because they are these things that are to be pursued. They are beautiful, that we think about kind of what kind of the role of beautiful women in the world. They end up kind of being pursued, right? This iconography is set up this way so that we can look into this and say, is that wisdom is the thing that we're to pursue. We're to get it. Go get it, and make it your own. And so, maybe you don't like the fact that you named your daughter Sophia now after I've talked about it that way, but it is this beauty of get wisdom, because everything else flows from it. And this is the thing about the order of things, is that and I think it's one of the greatest problems of our age. And if you listen to this, like we are in the tyranny of technique. We are in the tyranny of intelligence, right? Like we have, I have in my iPhone, I have more computing power than was ever by orders of magnitude than was ever on the space shuttle. And some of us think about the space shuttle and we remember it as like cool rocket ship that actually was like cutting edge technology. The iPhone has so much more, has exponentially more computing power. We have so much technique. We have so much intelligence we have so much information at our disposal. It's warped us in a way to think that a little more information will solve the problem, right? It's the foundational sin of the materialists. Sorry, materialists. I don't mean to be too hard on you today. Well, maybe I do, but that it's the foundational problem, because they think just a little bit more information will solve it, right? If people could just know, if they just knew, like if a parent that abused a child just knew, if they were just educated and went to a class about another way to behave, or if they knew the consequences of what their abusive behavior might do to that child, then they clearly would make different decisions, right? They just don't have good information to move forward. Are you getting this? You've heard this kind of line of reasoning before, right? This is not new. And the problem is that's not true, and we know it's not true. I have all the information in the world about why I should not eat the 18th brownie, but I will eat the 18th brownie every time given the chance. If you don't stand back, I'll demolish that tray of brownies. Like that, and not that I always do that, but that there's always a desire in me to do it. And it doesn't matter how much information I have, doesn't matter how smart I think I am, doesn't matter how much I know that those brownies will spike my glucose levels, which will make me feel horrible in 2 hours, which will make, I can get all the information, I can listen to all the brilliant diatribes about what that's going to do to my body, and that's not what's going to set me free. That's not what's going to order my life in such a way. A little bit more information sometimes is super helpful, no question. But it's helpful only as it goes to serve Sophia. Only as it goes to serve the wisdom, the way that, and the wisdom, when we talk about wisdom, what we mean is the really real, the way things are, no matter what we want, how we want them to be, the really real, the actually true, and that embracing that which is actually true in the world. It is the foundation of what we talk about when we talk about the love of heaven and the love of God and the love of what is good and true. Like this, we have a love, we have a pursuit of it, we have a desire for it. We want it in our lives, and it's hard sometimes. It not just sometimes, but and so think about it, like this is about a love of, God doesn't want me to eat all the brownies, not because God doesn't love me and God doesn't want goodness for me, that my love and my love of heaven, my love of God doesn't want me to eat all the brownies because it's going to disrupt my body. And because in disrupting my body, in dysregulating my blood sugar and all the stuff that's going to go along with that, and for a little mouth pleasure, that, like dysregulating all of that is out of the divine order of the way things are, the way things really, really, really work, the order of things. And so that it really comes down to this idea of, do I love God enough? And it's not just, and somebody say, well, that's not about loving God, that's about loving yourself. Is it? Because really, if I love myself, yes, I can craft my body into some, bronze Adonis sort of looking thing. Probably that ship has sailed at this point, but you know what I'm saying. Like I can do all of the care things and all of that sort of stuff, and I can have love for myself and make that primary. But at the end of the day, that's not, and that can in fact, inform that behavior. So yeah, the behavior can be kind of plugged into in different ways. But to really live into health and into goodness and into service to God, part of it is maybe I ought to stop at the 17th brownie. You see, and no amount of information is going to help me with that. And no amount of reasoning is going to help me with that. That really we have to start with the love of God. We have to really start with the love of heaven. And let that flow in and let that flow down. Because wisdom, get wisdom. Here, let's hear the proverb again. Get wisdom, get understanding. Forget it not, and neither decline from the words of my mouth. That get wisdom, and then from wisdom, we can go get some information. And then from the information, we can rationally make decisions about that. We can discover through our reasoning. We can use kind of the information that we've got, what we've encountered, and we can vivify our life and make it something beautiful. But this is the order of life. That it's not about us. It is truly about. The answer to the question of the lawyer's question. You shall love your God with all your heart and with all your soul and all your mind. And the greatest and first commandment, and the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Jesus' words were never more true. It starts with the love of God. And love of God is not this narcissistic thing where oh God, like the Monty Python thing. Oh Lord, you are so great. You're absolutely huge. We're all really impressed down here. I mean, it's not that. It is accepting the order of the universe and the way which it's built. And that we start out in this kind of inverted fashion. We start out in this upside down way. And that the ordering of it comes through our pursuit of Sophia, comes through our pursuit of wisdom. That when we says get wisdom, and it's our desire, because that inherently calls us to surrender, to submit, to say there is an order beyond what we would demand it to be. I know parents that I have a friend that's struggling with the kind of their 3-year-old, and 3 is a tough age because they're so mobile and they have all the wants and desires and all the things, and but they're not operating out of this love for God. They're not even operating out of a love for a neighbor. They really don't care. I mean, they love you, but they don't really so much care about you. They're way more interested in, like, do you have snacks when you show up? Like, they're way more interested in, are you going to let me do the things I want to do? Are you going to let me jump on the chair? Are you going to let me run around? Like, they're way more interested in that. And that really what they're all about is them, right? And we think about this at kids at any age. Like, developmentally, we start, as a baby, we start out, the baby really, doesn't care that it's 2 a.m. and they're screaming because they're hungry. They want a meal. And so parents dutifully drag themselves out and give the child a meal. They don't really even care about the world that much. They certainly don't care about you that much, insofar as you're not meeting their needs. And their conception with God is really not even close. Those great 4 loves are completely turned upside down. That they're not pursuing wisdom. They don't have any intelligence. They're not reasoning anything. They're just wanting what they want when they want it, and they're demanding it. And because we love them, we give it to them, and that's their first indication of love. And then our whole journey in this life, which is really at the heart of this idea of getting wisdom, of pursuing what is really real, pursuing what is really true, pursuing what is the highest good we can imagine, and pursuing and doing that in relationship that is the relationship with Christ, that is the relationship with God Himself. And that keeping that relationship open, keeping that dialogue open, pursuing what is the highest good and truth that we can conceive of at any time, this love of God, this love of heaven, this love of the good and the true. Get Sophia, get wisdom. This is the order of things, because once we do that, everything else starts to shake itself out. When we love God, when we love the heavenly, when we love the Logos, we love the really real, when we pursue that, the love of our neighbor follows right afterwards. Because of course we want that for other people. When we do that, we understand that people are so much more valuable than stuff or even our own wants. That wisdom inherently flows through from our wisdom into our understanding. We start to understand how the world is rightly ordered. And then we come to the love of the world, and we're able to care for the world out there. And then we're able to care for ourselves in such a way that is rightly ordered. That all of our wants, all of our desires for the 18th brownie, all of the stuff are put in right perspective, and we're in right position, so that everything else comes to serve the world, and comes to serve the neighbor, and comes to serve heaven. And so when I am able to keep out of the plate of brownies, it's not just a service to me and my ego and my vanity and my clothes fitting right. It is a service to God Himself and to the goodness of all the world. Friends, get wisdom, get Sophia, that pursue the highest good that you know, pursue what you know to be true, and that it is unequivocal, and don't blink from it, don't look from it. The greatest problem is that not the greatest problem, but we're so often hiding from it. We so often think that one more self-help book, one more promotion at work, one more stock option, one more thing will just get us to that point where it'll all work out and all come together, or one more talk, or one more meal, or one more something will make it all come together. And it's really about ordering our life in such a way that we love God, then love our neighbor, then love the world, then love ourselves. And when we lay it out in such a way, which is a lifetime worth of work, by the way. This is not about like, and you're not doing it, and you're screwing it up. And it's not even our work to do. It's God's work with us. It's just our work to open up to, and to let the divine process work on us and bring us into maturation and maturity and beauty. And it all begins with this silly little proverb. Like, it all begins with this silly little proverb that was written for teenagers to contemplate, while they were preparing for adulthood, that we might get wisdom. That it all starts with getting Sophia, getting understanding, and not forgetting it. Not losing, not taking our eye off the ball, not getting distracted by the life of the shiny, which will inevitably happen. We're people. We're not, but that this always being the corrective, this always being the invitation back, is to get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, and neither decline from the words of my mouth. And that when God has something to say to you, listen, and don't turn away. For the God of heaven wants your life to be a beautiful image of the reflection of the divine itself. That's the promise. That's what all this journeying and all this work is all about. And that's what we're being given with every heartbeat and with every breath and with every encouragement and with every joy and with every heartbreak and with every struggle and with every setback. All are being crafted that we might pursue the love of God and get wisdom, and in that get the order of our life. All right, friends, that's my hope for you today. I think Yvette, my baby girl. Oh, very nice. I hope it worked out. Good morning, Audrey. Glad you're here. Jane, yay. Oh, prayers to Donna. Prayers to so many. Hope you are having a great day. Tomorrow is our monthly organ concert at noon here at 282 Rock Street. It's a great program. It's up on the Facebook page if you want to look at what the program is. I really hope you will avail yourself of it. It is a beautiful offering. We'll also have some music by our soloist Marcus Johnson as well, and we'll also have and then we will worship on Sunday, bringing 2 children into baptism and a joy of spending time in worship with God. All right, friends, which is really not a bad place to get some wisdom. All right, peace and grace to you, my friends, and we will see you next week with another 11:11.